What is good, fam? You know who I am, Wealthy Westbrook's back with another video, and we're going to talk about, as you can see in the title, debt, dependency, and distraction, specifically in America, because that's where I live and that's where I've lived my entire life, right? That's where I've spent my 32 years of existence, family. You know what I'm saying? Born and raised in upstate New York. You know, and bro, I wasn't born into wealth at all. You know what I'm saying? We were not rich at all. For those of you who don't know my story, but you know what I'm saying, you can go back to my other videos and stuff like that. But I was not born into any type of rich situation, bro. Like, I watched both of my parents work really hard. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we weren't like suffering to the point of like homelessness, but bro, we definitely didn't have it like I saw a lot of other families have it. You know what I mean? And so throughout my whole life, I've always been wondering and just curious about the world and money and freedom and security, and because you would hear things in conversations and it's kind of just compare, even if it was subconsciously, you know, like who has what or who's wearing what or who's going where, or, you know, you just hear who's saying what, right? You can just pick up on things. And so when it comes to debt, and then when it comes to dependency, and when it comes to distraction, specifically in America, I want you to ask yourself this, and watch this video all the way to the end. If you're somebody who feels like, or has dealt with, or is dealing with debt, you know, whether that's student loans, credit cards, medical, whether that's any type of debt, it could even be mortgage or non-revolving, but the whole point is like you just owing somebody. Or you can even ask yourself, well, do you depend on somebody, right? So this is for somebody who's like constantly dependent on the system, or if you've been through things like EBT or food stamps, or if you just dependent on the system, or if you're dependent on like your landlord or even a significant other, because you can't do this by yourself. Like, you need a partner, bro. Like, fam, listen, sis, whoever you are, watch this to the end, especially, you know, if both of those resonate with you, if you're dealing with debt, or if that's been a part of your life, or just kind of just this dependency, you know. And then lastly, but not least, is the distraction. If you kind of catch yourself getting distracted, you know, by the sports, by the media, by the music, by the world, that you can't even get really on track with your goals, right? Because there's just so much stimulus, there's just so much going on, the advertisement, social media, that it's like, damn, like I'm constantly distracted. So if any of that resonates with you, if you're anything like somebody who's dealing with those type of things, or if you're somebody who's dealing with those types of things, I should say, watch this video all the way to the end. And I noticed, man, I gotta focus when I'm driving, but I'm trying to make these I'm over here like scrambling my words up. I gotta focus on the road and drive, but I'm gonna treat this as if you're in the car with me, so I can hopefully have better articulation than just chilling. So, you know what I'm saying, take the ride with me. By the way, this is, look at the view. You know I'm saying, this is California, for those who haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying, we're driving a BMW. And that's the thing. Let's start off talking about debt, right? Let's start off talking about debt, because I know a lot of people are dealing with debt in America. Like, the average household has like a lot of debt. I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that the American country, essentially, the corporation here, I mean, like, really, the economy is not growing if the consumer debt isn't growing. So America's really not thriving unless more people are going into debt. You can look that up. And I'm not here to talk about like fiat currency or the financial reserve or the Federal Reserve, or get too deep into banking. But what happens is, what I can see, bro, is like, I mean, there's inflation, you know what I'm saying? That's just, prices are going up. The cost of everything goes up. The cost of groceries, the cost of gas, the cost of fast food, the cost of going to the movies, the cost of going out to restaurants, or just the cost of living, the day-to-day, just the most basic things, clothes, everything you need is just going up in price, right? That's inflation. Right, we got supply and demand. You got things going on like tariffs. It's all crazy right now, 2025. And on top of that, people aren't getting paid like they, you know, they should or feel like they could be, right? I mean, the reality is, bro, I make decent money, right? I'm 6 figures, but and I live in California, and granted, it's like twice the national average. Granted, it's kind of expensive. Nothing's really expensive when you get to a certain level, but I'm trying to relate to you, bro. I'm really trying to relate to this, because I understand, bro. I understand, like, if you're not earning like multiple 6 figures, like, you're like, it's not gonna be easy. Like, you really need to be generating net, like, after expenses, 6 figures, bro, like multiple 6 figures to actually be able to do anything, to be able to invest, to be able to provide security and protect and have a safety blanket. Like, bro, like the money just goes so quick, so much to the point that what happens in America is people just take out debt. They go into credit card debt. I know I've dealt with credit card debt, bro. I've dealt with charge-offs. I've dealt with debt. I've dealt with debt collectors. I've dealt with all of that, bro. Super stressful, super unnecessary, super annoying. But it's like they pitch you when you're super young. They get you when you're young. They don't teach you about this in school. They don't teach you financial literacy. They don't really teach you about interest. They don't teach you about any of this stuff. Plus, now you're suffering. You got things like making 19, bro. That all happened, right? So people are literally dependent on these things, which ties into it. Now, listen, I want to thank God for having access to debt and credit in times when I needed it. Because if I'm being honest, bro, there's been plenty times in my life that if I didn't have access to credit or debt or be able to borrow money, I might not have made it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I might not have, like, it wouldn't have worked out for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that there have been times when I've been able to lean on credit. But you never want to be dependent on credit. You feel what I'm saying? Or, like, or what I really say, I mean, yeah, temporarily that's okay, but you want to get yourself out of that situation. And even further is that you don't want to just be blowing credit and just borrowing shit, ton of money for that you can't even pay back, or buying things, putting things on credit that you can't even afford to begin with, bro. That's what happens in America. You got all this consumerism where people are just taking off all this credit, borrowing money, borrowing car loans, borrowing, buy now, pay later. Like, it's gotten so crazy, bro. Credit card debt's all-time high. People go to the bankrupt. You got student loans. You got all of this medical. The people are just borrowing money for the mortgages. Here in America, bro, like, if I'm being honest, man, like, no one really owns anything, bro. There's just like this image that you do, but you're constantly chasing and paying and playing catch up and playing to catch up. And it's just like, that's not how I'm trying to live, if I'm being honest, bro. I don't know who sold us this dream, bro, but that's what it seems like is going on over here. Most people are just not really doing shit. Now, granted, I should have started this video off by saying I love America, okay? I love the country that I live in and where I'm from. And there's plenty of opportunity. So let's not get it misconstrued. I don't want to come across as some ungrateful, ignorant, arrogant American, which I'm going to talk about in another video. Because the reality is there are so many blessings in America. There's so much opportunity here. It's really one of the best places you could possibly live. And I'm head over heels, you know what I'm saying? Just grateful, straight up, that I was even born here and had the opportunity to learn English, work here, earn the USD, network here, see things. Like, bro, it's amazing. But there are some components to it, if I'm being honest, that I don't necessarily like or agree with or resonate with my spirit and my soul. And I'm not saying I'm gonna be moving away or I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not hating on it, bro, but it's okay to look around. It's okay to go to different places. And we'll watch. I'll talk about more this type of stuff in other videos, but let's just stay on point here, right? So the deck thing is like crazy, right? Because it's almost like you can't catch up, bro. No matter what you do, right? You work so hard. You work double jobs, triple jobs, save here, cut coupons. You don't buy this, you don't buy that. You know what I'm saying? You don't go out. And it's like, no matter what you do, you still can't get away from this debt. That's crazy to me, right? Now we're dependent. So you're dependent on the system. And then, so they own your time. They own your freedom. Did you know, like, in some countries, bro, like capitalism is not like as heavy or as abundant or not even real? Like, for example, bro, like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro. Like, there's places in the world where like a credit score is not even a real thing. Meanwhile, here we are in America, running through the rat race, you know, distracted by the media, distracted by the lies, if I'm being honest. We damn near, and you over here trying to play a game that doesn't even exist in the global scale. I mean, yeah, you want to take care of your credit, don't get me wrong. I mean, none of this is financial advice. But what I'm telling you is, bro, like, pay attention. Like, there's certain places where the credit score is irrelevant. They'll look at you like, do you have money? Like, can you afford it? Like, can you just buy it? Like, just pay for it. So this whole borrowing system is only really in America, bro. Like, this, and it could be a gift and a curse, right? Because why? Because if you're smart, you know how to leverage good debt. So let's not get it misconstrued again. Let's not get it confused. If you know how to use the debt and you know how to leverage the debt and you're financially literate and responsible, bro, it's amazing. But I just see so many people who have just not been educated and they're miseducated and they don't have the proper knowledge and the skill sets and the resources and just the connections. They don't have the brain power, the willpower. They just don't have the confidence and the capability to really use money the right that it's supposed to be used, right? So they just misuse it. And then they end up, you know, it all ends up backfiring because the money is really a good tool, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's not so much about like what the tool is, but how you use the tool. You know what I'm saying? You got to use it in the right way. And so many people struggle with that, and I see it and I feel for them, man, because I used to struggle with it too. You know, and then sometimes someone's like, damn, like the system is it's designed to keep you in debt. It's designed to keep you dependent on it. I mean, the majority, look at places like Section 8, man. Look around, bro. I'm surprised. Sometimes I surprise myself how I'm like, damn, I'm still thriving like that, bro. Like, but even me, bro, I'll be having my days. I'll be having my moments. I'm like, damn, I gotta make it happen, bro. I don't want you to ever think like I'm out here just like flexed up, bro. Like, I'm just like you, bro. Like, I go through life. I'm like, damn, I gotta get to it. Like 10K a month, yeah, that's cool, but bro, if I'm being honest, that's not like 20K a month, like that's really not a lot after expenses. I mean, it's enough to do a little bit here, a little bit here, a little there. But bro, I'm trying to put you on. Like the biggest thing is just being responsible, right? Being a steward with your finances, and they just don't teach us this. So many people that we're surrounded by, man, we get bad influences. We get bad, especially us in the black community, bro. If I'm being honest, man, we don't have any money, bro. We never seen our parents. A lot of our parents, some of our parents. Those of you who have good examples, man, shame on you if you didn't come up and make something out of that. But for those of us who didn't really have the best financial examples, I'm not talking about just being good people or characters, but just financially speaking, if you didn't have the silver spoon, if we didn't have like the, you know, the guidance or the mentorship on that level, bro, like, man, most of us, you know, we made mistakes. We had to figure it out ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Start with nothing. And so, you know, I kind of forgot where I was going with that because again, I'm driving, bro. I probably shouldn't be driving when I'm doing these videos because it's hard to focus. I'm being honest, looking for a gas station because I gotta get some gas. And that's the thing, man. I'm distracted right now. See, if I was in another country, bro, I probably wouldn't even be using my car like this. If I was in Thailand, I would just be in the car, sitting back in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Maybe getting some work done in the Uber if I needed to go somewhere. Instead, I'm out here driving around in this overpopulated place. Now, don't get me wrong, it's like that other places. You can get distracted. It's fact. In fact, the traffic out there is even crazier. But my point is this, yo. Do you feel distracted? Are you just like so caught up in just trying to play catch up and trying to keep up with the Joneses and who's doing what and who's wearing what and buying the what, and you can't even really get clear on your own goals, yet alone get ahead or even like start to work on your own goals? If that's you, I want to help you, okay? I want to help you, okay? I want to help you out. Book a free clarity call with me. I'm gonna keep the calls free for now. I'm gonna be honest though, fam, my time is really valuable, and you're probably like, damn, bro, that's mad disrespectful and completely like hypocritical. You're on here talking about debt, dependency, and distraction. You're gonna charge me for a call, bro? The call's free right now, so book a free clarity call with me. Spots are limited though, you know, it's because as they fill up, my calendar is gonna be filled up, and plus I got a lot to do. I am gonna be doubling down on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Putting out as much content as I can. If this video helps, man, please hit the subscribe button. Okay, if you're watching this video all the way through, that means you got some value, right? So hit the subscribe button. If you don't hit the subscribe button, you're just a hater. You don't want to be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button. See? Boom. Hit that. Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna give you like 1 more second, 2 more seconds. Did you subscribe yet? Thank you. Appreciate you. Oh, you didn't subscribe yet? Bro, just subscribe. All right. Or don't. You know what? At this point, it is what it is. As always, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, blessed, focus on success. Everything you need is in the link in the description. Get with me. Peace.